Okay, moving on to Chapter 5 of Mrs. Dole is Out of Control. Getting ready for the big day. It was the last week of school, so we hardly learned anything. That was fine with me because learning stuff is boring. It was hard to concentrate. I kept thinking how in a few days we would be off for the summer. Mrs. Daisy wasn't concentrating either. She had a new hobby, knitting. She pretty much sat in the back of the room knitting, while Ryan's mom helped us get ready for graduation. Sometimes Andrea's mom came in too, but she spent most of the time rolling her eyes. Boy, she sure rolls her eyes a lot. Eye rolling must run in Andrea's family. We had to do all kinds of stuff to get ready for graduation. Did you know that when you graduate, you have to wear a weird cap on your head that's shaped like a square? Nobody knows why. Mrs. Dole asked our art teacher, Miss Hannah, to help make the caps out of construction paper and cardboard. Miss Hannah also helped us make graduation banners and signs to decorate the hallway. On Thursday, Mrs. Dole had us march from the gym to the playground behind the school so we would learn how to make a grand entrance for our parents. She made us practice over and over again until we got it right. Did you ever hear the graduation song? It's this song they always play at graduations. Mrs. Dole asked our music teacher, Mr. Loring, to play that song on an accordion while we marched around the playground. He told us the real name of the song is Pomp and Circumstance, but nobody knows why. The song doesn't have words. It just goes like this. I can't even remember how that song goes, but dum 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 dum. It's a dumb song, if you ask me. Songs were supposed to have words, so I made up words to the graduation song. They go like this. I'm graduating. There's a square in my head. Why is there a square in my head? Because I'm graduating. You repeat that over and over again. While we were marching around the playground, I taught the words to everybody. Soon the whole class was singing. It was cool. Then Mrs. Dole told us to knock it off. Practicing for graduation all morning was boring. I couldn't wait for lunch. Finally, after 1,100,000 hours, Mrs. Dole said it was time to go to the vomitorium to eat. I sat at the table with the guys. Michael tried to juggle his tater tots. Neil, the nude kid, put cookies over his eyes. Ryan let us pour salt on his tongue. Andrea and her annoying friends sat at the next table talking about girly stuff, like what color dresses their dolls like to wear. What are you guys doing over the summer? Asked Ryan. I'm going to a sleepaway camp, said Neil. I'm going to football camp, said Michael. I'm going to cooking camp, said Ryan. My family is going to rent a house at the beach, I said. I didn't ask Andrea what she would be doing over the summer. She was probably going to learn her multiplication tables so she would be smarter than everybody in 3rd grade. Andrea was sitting there all quiet. I figured she was still mad because her mom lost the PTA election. Are you still mad because your mom lost the PTA election? I asked her. No, Andrea said. I'm worried about Mrs. Daisy. What about her? I asked Emily, all concerned. Haven't you noticed? Andrea said. Mrs. Daisy has put on a lot of weight. She's getting fat. It must be all those bonbons we gave her, said Neil, the nude kid. She's probably eating a box every night, Ryan said. That's not good for her, said Emily. It's all your fault, Arlo, Andrea said. You were the one who thought of giving her bonbons. Why is everything always my fault? I didn't force Mrs. Daisy to eat so many bonbons. What's Andrea's problem? I wish a truck full of bonbons would fall on her head. Wow, harsh. Chapter 6. The greatest day of my life. Finally, it was my favorite day of the year. The last day of school. Yay! After we finished pledging the allegiance, Mrs. Daisy had us sing happy birthday. But it wasn't anybody's birthday. We sang happy birthday to the kids in our class who have birthdays over the summer, like me. It is totally not fair that my birthday is in the summer. That means my mom can't bring cupcakes for the class. Bummer in the summer. We didn't learn anything all day. Mrs. Daisy had us clean the junk out of our desks. I found a peanut butter and jelly sandwich in the back that had been there for months. There was green stuff on it. I offered Ryan a quarter if he would take a bite of the sandwich, but he wouldn't. Then we had to take our posters and artwork off the walls so we could bring them home. The artwork, that is. We couldn't bring the walls home. That would be weird. Mrs. Dole came in and passed out yearbooks that had pictures of everybody in the whole school. We spent most of the morning signing each other's yearbooks. I wrote a little note in each one, like, "See you in 3rd grade," or "Summer rules." Andrea asked me if she could sign my yearbook. I didn't want her to, but Mrs. Dole was watching, so I let Andrea sign it. She wrote, "I'll miss you, Arlo," above her picture. "Ooh," Ryan said. "AJ let Andrea sign his yearbook. They must be in love." "When are you going to get married?" asked Michael. If those guys weren't my best friends, I would hate them. "Will you sign my yearbook, Arlo?" Andrea asked all sweetly, because she knew Mrs. Dole was watching. This is what I wrote in Andrea's yearbook. "I won't miss you if I throw a rock at you." "That's mean," Andrea said. "So is your face," I told her. Wow, Arlo really is mean. Even though I hate school, I had to admit the last day was kind of sad. Mrs. Daisy told us that over the summer she and Mr. Mackey were going to move to a bigger house in a different town. She wasn't even sure if she would come back to elementary school in September. Mrs. Daisy got all sniffly and had to blow her nose in a tissue. That made the girls get all sniffly too. Girls get sniffly real easy. Nobody knows why. I kept looking at the clock, waiting for it to be 3 o'clock, but it was only 1 o'clock. Then it was 1 minute after 1 o'clock. Then it was 2 minutes after 1 o'clock. Then it was 3 minutes after 1 o'clock. The clock moves really slowly when you watch it. For a while, it looked like the hands were moving backwards. Me and the guys crumpled up some paper and threw it at the girls, but Mrs. Daisy told us to knock it off. After 1,100,000 hours, it was 2 o'clock. Isn't the word o'clock weird? What's up with that? Me and the guys counted down the hours, the minutes, the seconds. Every second took a minute. Every minute took an hour. Every hour took a week. It was the longest day in the history of the world. I thought it would never end. But finally, the little hand on the 3 and the big hand was on the 12. You know what that means. 3 o'clock! The bell rang. We all went to hug Mrs. Daisy, and then we bolted for the door. We were free! Me and the guys ran out of the front door like prisoners escaping from jail. Everybody was yelling and shouting and jumping. No more pencils, no more books, no more teachers' dirty looks. It was the greatest day of my life, except for one thing. But I'm not going to tell you what it was. Okay, I'll tell you. But you have to read the next chapter first. So, nana nana boo boo on you. Well, that's read. I guess we're going to have to read the next chapter then.